Want to make 2026 a year to remember? Then we should be your first stop. Dave Warren Power Sports has the Kawasaki lineup ready. Brute Force ATVs, mule side-by-sides, and jet skis built for serious fun. Before spring hits, stop in and gear up. Dave Warren Power Sports, where the fun begins.
It's ARP fasteners for whatever you race. From 2 wheels to 4. Off-road, on-road, even water. From the flat track to the salt flats. Grassroots racers, weekend warriors, and pros alike trust ARP. Made in America quality, family owned and operated. When failure is not an option, it's ARP-bolts.com. No matter what you race.
MD3, the most advanced body panels on the market. Aerodynamically engineered, manufactured from the highest grade and lightest weight materials, tested tough for optimum performance. The highest quality and most durable products you'll find anywhere. Our products help racers around the world reach victory lane. Winning never looked so good. MD3, the #1 body choice for top dirt racers.
At Pit Boss Jack's, we put in the work in the shop so you can put in your work at the track. Engineering, speed, durability. Pit Boss Jack's, like a boss.
Raw horsepower, built on dirt. This is the world of Outlaws. Coming to Bedford Speedway, May 17th. Hear it, feel it, live it.
You're watching the World of Outlaws late models, presented by DIRTVision.
Powerful late models on the planet!
The best drivers, the best coverage. DIRTVision is home to the greatest shows on dirt.
4 straight nights of racing for the World of Outlaws late models, presented by DIRTVision here in the Keystone State of Pennsylvania, begins tonight as nearly 40 late model drivers are set to invade Selinsgrove Speedway here in the Keystone State. Good evening, everybody. My name is Peyton Williams. I'm the pit reporter for the World of Outlaws late models, presented by DIRTVision here this evening. And the busiest week of the 2026 campaign continues this evening, but that week started last night at Georgetown, Delaware, where after a dramatic late race battle between the top 3 contenders ended with our defending series champion claiming career outlaw victory number 50.
You're watching the World of Outlaws late models, presented by DIRTVision.
It was an 8-year wait, but we're back. The Visit Delaware 51, presented by Delaware Department of Tourism, is underway here at Georgetown. Rumbling in America's first state down the back straightaway, side by side for the race lead. Ziegler on the outside, Chamberlain down low, and Mason Ziegler going to take the early race lead here. Ziegler holds off the 32 of Pierce. Troutman still in a very, very close third. Off of corner number 4, this is where things are going to get interesting. Ziegler has had the whole racetrack in clean air to himself. and now has to get around Snyder. He gets around Snyder, has the assurance of a lap car between him and Pierce. Pierce gonna get caught up with Snyder down the back straightaway. That's gonna allow for Ziegler to drive away. Now Troutman has caught Pierce for the second spot. Troutman with a slider off of corner number 4. Drake Troutman to second at a 22 star. Off of corner number 4, this time by Pierce, back to the inside of Troutman. Those two side by side, down the front straightaway. Drake Troutman to the lead. Ziegler there out, nearly 3 wide for the lead. Now Pierce gets around Ziegler. He'll go to the inside of Troutman for the lead, but Drake Troutman holds him off down the back straightaway. Down the back straightaway. Troutman sends it in, contact with Latham, and Latham goes around. The caution is out, 20 laps in, 30 laps to go. Into turn number 3, Troutman knew he had to make a move. He went to the inside of Jamie Latham. Latham was there in contact, and that's what sent Latham around. Man, what a heartbreak for Drake Troutman. 9 laps to go. Ryan Gustin with a monster restart. He goes around the outside of Hoffman, down to the inside of Pierce for the lead. Ryan Gustin trying to go back-to-back with the Outlaws, and he takes command down the back straightaway. Ryan Gustin started 10th off of corner number 4. Can he lead officially at the line? Yes, he will. The Reaper leads here at Georgetown. Now Pierce with a slider of his own. Instead of trailing by 4, it'd be 6 here. But down the back straightaway, off of corner number 4 this time. He had to earn it tonight. His 50th World of Outlaws feature win. He gets it done here at Georgetown, Bobby Pierce.
And what a battle we saw yesterday at Georgetown Speedway as Bobby Pierce claims career win number 50 in sole possession of 4th on the all-time wins list. Now, as we move into things to watch here tonight at Selinsgrove Speedway, let's start with the driver who split the podium last night, the Reaper, Ryan Gustin. And what a tear he has been on over the last handful of races, specifically in his last 4 starts. He does have that one win highlighted there at the Dairyland Showdown a couple weeks ago at Mississippi Thunder Speedway, but he's been on the podium all 4 nights, as well as winning 3 heat races. You can see there an average start of 4.5, leading to an average finish of 2nd place. So that rounds out to a plus-minus of 10 positions gained over the course of feature racing in the last 4 World of Outlaws late model features contested. Now, he's somebody that has a lot of confidence at this racetrack, but specifically knowing that he's found form recently here in the busiest time of the year, he said it's the most optimal time of the season to string together positive results.
Whenever you're running good, you just try to ride that wave as long as you can. You know, obviously we've been running pretty decent here. Felt like kind of let one slip away last night. You know, once we slid Bobby there, I should have went into protect mode a little bit, but I knew I was tight, so I was trying to slow down and get turned, come back down the hill. But you know, once he started running that line that I passed him with, it was going to be impossible to get back by him. So all in all, you know, it was not a bad night. Start 10th and run 2nd, lead a lap or whatever it was. You know, to be able to get to the lead is obviously you got a good piece under you. It's unfortunate we kind of dug ourselves a hole here. You know, it was just those guys have been doing what we're doing all year. You know what I mean? They've been on the podium majority of the nights, which, you know, obviously with us running on the podium, you know, the rest of the year ain't going to be enough to catch them because they're going to be right there too. You know, so. Unfortunately, it would take a miracle for us to be able to catch them guys, but we're just going to keep doing what we're doing and hopefully stay up front.
Recent run of form for the Reaper, Ryan Gustin. He has now crept into the top 5 of the point standings, just 8 points shy of Tyler Erb here as the points continue to intensify as the season progresses. And as Ryan Gustin had another strong run last night, a couple of drivers we want to touch on now had some frustrating performances over the course of 51 laps at Georgetown Speedway last night. One of those is Chalk Hill, Pennsylvania's Mason Ziegler. And Mason Ziegler knows this racetrack very well. He's actually been to victory lane here at this racetrack twice in the last 8 months. He won the Fall Classic back here in September, a very big race that was run here in 2025, and he's from Chalk Hill, Pennsylvania. He knows a lot of these racetracks that the Outlaws will take to over the next 4 nights, but specifically here where he's been to victory lane a couple of times, it's no secret that he has the full attention of the Outlaws entering 45 laps of feature racing a little bit later on tonight.
Yeah, it's exciting. All year we're waiting for this opportunity to really show how good our program is, and Georgetown really is somewhere I don't race a lot. It's just a handful of times now, but close enough that we've been there probably more than most of these guys, and had a real shot at winning it last night. Had another part failure there midway through the race that really ruined the night for us. But all in all, we know we got speed. We're coming over here tonight. We were luckily able to find exactly what caused us those issues. So hopefully tonight's a new night, and we can take tonight and start off just like we did yesterday. So this place I'm definitely more familiar with than Georgetown. Last 2 times I think we were here, we won. So I like big racetracks. I like high-speed places. Heck, I think last time we were here, we blew a tire out in hot laps and had to pull the spare car out and come from the tail, and we still were able to win. So I've got a really good program here, a really good package here. My Rocket, Clements, Fox Shocks. It's a good piece, so I'm excited for tonight. I think we got a really good shot. I know the field here is as good as it gets, but looking at the weather, it's going to be a track record kind of night. So I'm excited to get going.
And Mason Ziegler, every time he's with the World of Outlaws late models, he finds his way to the front. Only has 1 career Outlaw victory. That came back in 2019, of course, in his home state of Pennsylvania, but eyeing his 2nd career win with the World of Outlaws if he can return to victory lane here at Selinsgrove Speedway a little bit later tonight. He was up front last night before issues with a right rear shock hindered his performance, but all eyes on the 25 here as he can try to get his 3rd checkered flag in the last 8 months here in Selinsgrove, Pennsylvania. Another PA driver that we know very well is the 2025 MD3 Rookie of the Year, Drake Troutman. He grew up going to many different racetracks, I should say, here in the Keystone State. Doesn't have a ton of experience here at Selinsgrove, but again, we start 4 consecutive nights of racing in Troutman's home state of Pennsylvania, and he's been in the top 10 in 7 consecutive races, has been in the top 10 in 9 of the last 11. So the Rookie of the Year a year ago continues to climb up in the point standings, but was yet another driver that had a rather frustrating performance at Georgetown yesterday. The 22 star was lights out fast. He quickly got to the top spot in last night's 51-lap feature, made an aggressive move in lap traffic that led to cutting that left rear tire, but he was able to go to the tail of the field and work his way all the way back to the 5th, or finished in the 5th position, I should say. So a couple of drivers from Pennsylvania here today that want to spoil the party for the World of Outlaws late models contenders, and a lot of exciting storylines heading into the 2nd of 5 consecutive nights of racing here with the Outlaws. Now, it's a chilly night, a cloudy night here, but we're hoping to get all of the racing action here this evening. Currently 53 degrees as we get set to put cars onto the racing surface for hot laps. There is a slight chance of rain and pretty brisk breeze here in the area, so we'll try to expedite the program to make sure that we get all of tonight's racing action in. Let's run through the order of events quickly. Just 2 divisions here at Selinsgrove Speedway tonight. The World of Outlaws late models presented by DIRTVision. We'll have hot laps coming up momentarily, and they are supported by the Selinsgrove Speedway limited late models tonight. They will have hot laps next before the Outlaws return for Mark Martin automotive qualifying. We'll then pull the cars off track for opening ceremonies. 4 8-lap heat races for the Outlaws tonight, followed by the heats for the limited late models. We'll have a pair of last chance showdowns before our 2 features this evening. 45 laps around Selinsgrove Speedway for the Outlaws tonight before the final race of the evening, a feature for the Selinsgrove Speedway limited late models. But once again, I'm Peyton Williams. Let's quickly send things to the booth as cars are quickly approaching the racing surface to the voice of the World of the Outlaws late models, Ruben Morales. Ruben, the busiest week of the season continues here tonight, and man, if we see anything like we saw in Georgetown last night here at Selinsgrove this evening, these fans are in store for a great show here in Central PA tonight.
Yeah, good evening to you, Peyton, and last night definitely a really, really good race, and I have no doubts that tonight we are going to be in for another great night of racing here at Selinsgrove Speedway. It's definitely been a while since the Outlaws have been to Selinsgrove. We are so excited to be back. The wait is finally over. This is the 10th visit for the World of Outlaws to Selinsgrove after a 7-year wait. Last time here, 2019, Darrell Lanigan picked up the win. He is the only repeat winner out of all these racetracks that we're going to this week. Lanigan won here 4 times with the Outlaws. He won here in 2000 19, obviously the most recent visit, 15, 14, and 2013. 3 repeat winners that have won with the Outlaws here at Selinsgrove with us here tonight. That is Greg Satterley, Tim McCready, and Jeff Ryan. Cars getting ready to roll onto the Speedway here for hot laps in just a few moments. Track record set here at Selinsgrove Speedway, 18.151. Actually, they've had 2 super late model events already this year, and it was actually done this year on 410 day. As Hayes Mattern got it done, 18.151, a very low second 18-second lap. 39 entries here this evening. We'll have 20 cars in Mark Martin Automotive qualifying Group A and 19 cars in Group B. 4 heat races, 8 laps the distance, logging in 16 drivers directly into tonight's feature event, which will pay a whopping $20,000 to win here for the World of Outlaws Sand Hill Showdown. As Peyton mentioned, limited late models joining us here this evening as well. Got to give a big thank you as we have extra money tonight. Quick Time getting an extra $500 courtesy of Finch and Chris Moser. Thank you to them. And of course, Hard Charger tonight, Donnie's Automotive, an extra $200 for Hard Charger. So an extra $700 up for grabs. Thank you to those folks for their kind generosity in supporting the World of Outlaws. Returning to Selinsgrove Speedway. Hot lap session number 1 rolling onto the Speedway. First driver out there, you're going to find Jacob Piper out of Mercersburg, Pennsylvania. The JWP Environmental, Buchanan Auto Stores, Scott's Hauling and Excavating number 21. One World of Outlaws start at Bedford 2 years ago, got 24th now in his second full year of super late model competition. There's Danny Snyder in the number 4S out of Green Lane, Pennsylvania. The J Mastrocola Hauling number 4S. 7 World of Outlaw feature starts, best finish 14th at the Lincoln Speedway back in 2020. Now in its 12th year behind the wheel of a super late model. Also on the Speedway, the number 92, Jeff Ryan out of Danville, Pennsylvania. A winner with the Outlaws right here in 2017. 25 World of Outlaw feature starts. The all-time winningest driver at Selinsgrove and Bedford, Jeff Ryan in the number 92. Also on the Speedway, MD3 Rookie of the Year contender, gaining another good chunk on Dalton Wilson last night, gained 24 points. Remember, 68 on the last time we were out in Independence and Mississippi Thunder, now trailing Dalton Wilson by 125. That is the future Trey Mills. Also on the Speedway, joining us for the second time this week out of Landisville, Pennsylvania, that's going to be Tristan Niederer in the York PB Trust number 121. First full year behind the wheel of super late model, trying to make his first World of Outlaws feature start. The 2022 World of Outlaws champion out of Carpentersville, Illinois, the McBride Mac Vomac Truck Sales 5-star race car bodies, Fox Shocks number 28, 15-time World of Outlaws feature winner, currently 10th in the World of Outlaws point standings. Those are all the drivers around this big half-mile racetrack, Selinsgrove Speedway. Been overcast all day long here. Kind of a chilly day here at Selinsgrove Speedway. There's Eli Johnson in the 55E. MD3 Rookie of the Year contender to Clewiston, Florida. 12 Outlaw starts, best finish 15th at Independence Speedway earlier this year, now in his second full year of super late model competition. Racetrack has some good moisture in it, as I mentioned. Really not a hot day today. Overcast. It's a very beautiful day, and we could possibly see a track record here tonight. Here's the number 24 of Dylan Yoder out of Middleburg, Pennsylvania. The Valley Supply Strauss Electric number 24. 24 Outlaw feature starts, best finish second here at Selinsgrove with the Outlaws back in 2014 for Dylan Yoder. Multi-time Port Royal Speedway track champion. As drivers roll around the racetrack ironing out before we get ready to see the first Gorsuch Performance green flag. Don't forget $100 for the Dirt King Simulators fastest hot lap. If you're in the house here tonight, make sure to visit our friends at Dirt King Simulators and grab your official Dirt King Simulators merchandise. And of course, if you get the Dirt King Simulators fastest hot lap, you get a prize here tonight. So go check them out down there on the Midway. And if you're watching on DIRTVision and you're coming to a future World of Outlaws event, go check out Dirt King Simulators. Matt Cosner on the Speedway, joining us for the first time this week, commencing his 13th year behind the wheel of a super late model of Nelson Auto Sales, number 66C. 22 World of Outlaw feature starts, best finish 5th at Williams Grove in 2021. 7-year wait. This is hot lap session number 1. Matt Cosner, 18.553. Eli Johnson, 18.914. Trey Mills right now at top of the charts, 18.241 for the future. Trey Mills. Checkered flag gonna fly here in the opening hot lap session, and it's the number 14, Trey Mills, leading the way, the St. Augustine, Florida racer at an 18.241. Trey Mills second quick, Dennis Erb Jr. third, Matt Cosner fourth, and Jeff Ryan fifth quick. As we mentioned, Trey Mills making some gain on the 58V of Dalton Wilson for the MD3 Rookie of the Year Championship. He gained 24 points last night, but also gained 10 points on Dennis Erb Jr. for 10th in the World of Outlaws point standings. Dennis is currently 10th. Trey Mills right behind him, 20 points back. Trey Mills, another young up-and-coming star in dirt late model racing, the 2023 Hunt the Front Series Rookie of the Year. 2025, what a big year for him. Of course, ran the Dirt Car Summer Nationals, won the Hurled and Review 100 at Macon Speedway in Macon, Illinois, won the Cotton Pickin 100. Now in his fourth year behind the wheel of a super late model. Hot lap session number 2, getting ready to roll onto the speedway momentarily as they enter the racetrack in turn number 4 and make their way down the front straightaway. MD3 Rookie of the Year contender back home, Logan Zarin at Hookstown, Pennsylvania. The All-American framer, Brandon's Lawn and Landscape number 1Z. Best finish with the Outlaws, 13th earlier this year in his 27 World of Outlaws feature starts. Also on the speedway, you'll find the number 11. That's going to be not Trevor Collins, but we have multiple 11s here tonight. Greg Moore. That's going to be actually a.k.a. Spike Moore, and the Jim McBee Motorsports, Cottle Racing and Fabrication number 11, in his first full year of super late model competition, trying to make his first World of Outlaws feature start. Also on the speedway, MD3 Rookie of the Year champion, that is Drake Troutman out of Heinemann, Pennsylvania. 7 straight top 10s for the 22-star of Drake Troutman. Also on the speedway, you'll find the driver that picked up his 50th World of Outlaws feature win last night, the smooth operator Bobby Pierce out of Oakwood, Illinois. That low voltage solutions number 32, 4th on the all-time wins list, and now reclaiming the World of Outlaws point lead in the 32 by 4 points over the 9 of Nick Hoffman. Right behind him, the driver we were just talking about, Nick Hoffman out of Mooresville, North Carolina, 16-time World of Outlaws feature winner, 2023 World of Outlaws Rookie of the Year, the thrill from Mooresville, Nick Hoffman in the Ty-Toric number 9. In the number 3 out of Lewistown, Pennsylvania, Tim Wilson, 31st year behind the wheel of a super late model, the 2012 Port Royal Speedway track champion, 4 World of Outlaws feature starts, best finish 17th at Port Royal back in 2017. Also on the speedway, the number 0, Andrew Yoder out of Middleburg, Pennsylvania, the Creekside Auto Sales Wind View Truck Repair number 0. And the 23, that is going to be Lane Snook out of Port Royal, Pennsylvania, trying to make his first World of Outlaws feature start, the 2025 Selinsgrove and Port Royal Limited Late Model Track Champion, now in his first full year of Super Late Model competition. And also on the speedway, you'll have the number 27, that's going to be Jim Yoder out of Selinsgrove, Pennsylvania. 17 Outlaw feature starts, best finish 4th right here with the Outlaws back in 2016. How about this driver joining us tonight? Briggs Danner just finished 5th in the 2026 Chili Bowl. Got 2nd to Kyle Larson on the Monday portion of the Chili Bowl. Briggs Danner, big open wheel star in the 31. Good to have Briggs Danner with us here. 2 dirt late model starts for Briggs Danner. 1 came here at Selinsgrove last year, and his best finish 4th at Bridgeport last year. 8 USAC wins, got a Silver Crown win last year at Salt City Raceway in Kansas. Cool to have Briggs Danner with us. He says, man, if I could just qualify, it'll be fun. But he did tell me, man, we're flying in these things just like them sprint cars. These late models are fast. That was cool to hear from a USAC driver. So Nick Hoffman right now, talking about fast, he is the fastest right now. 18.117 for the thrill from Mooresville. As Nick Hoffman goes to the top of the charts with the Dirt King Simulator's fastest hot lap. Of course, we heard from him in the podium interview last night. He wasn't happy with a 3rd place run. He's like, man, I should be happy with running 3rd, but just got to get his racecraft a Nick Hoffman, man, what a star. Of course, all those years dominated the Dirt Car Summit Racing Equipment Modified Nationals. 69 Dirt Car Summit Racing Equipment Modified National wins all the championships. And now, looking for his first World of Outlaws championship, Hoffman trailing Pierce by 4, but Hoffman goes to the top of the charts. Mills is second, Bobby Pierce is third quick, Eli Johnson fourth, Lane Snook fifth, Dennis Erb Jr. sixth, Matt Cosner seventh, Jeff Ryan eighth, Danny Snyder ninth, and Drake Troutman in the top 10. Next group getting ready to roll onto the speedway, and I can see the nose. That is DeCooney Motorsports 19R of Ryan Gustin. Well, we have the camera on him. His last 4 finishes with the Outlaws: second, first, second, third. An average finish of second in his last 4 outings with the World of Outlaws, and of course his last 3 wins totaling to $190,000, almost $200,000 there. Only 8 points back of third, Tyler Erb. Ryan Gustin, 16-time World of Outlaws feature winner, gave us a show last night at Georgetown. Ryan Gustin looking to get a victory here at Selinsgrove. Tim McCready got 2 wins on this swing a year ago, one at Raceway 7 and one in the finale at Bedford. McCready 4 straight top 10s. He won here in 2014 in the Briggs Transport number 9. 40 World of Outlaw victories for Tim McCready. Also on the speedway, Dustin Sorensen out of Rochester, Minnesota. Now in his 4th year behind the wheel of a super late model, Dustin Sorensen currently 9th in the World of Outlaws point standings, looking for that first World of Outlaws feature win. Best finish 2nd, Brownstown, Indiana, back in 2024, and Humboldt, Kansas last year. Also on the speedway, good to have a former champion, 2011 World of Outlaws champion, 1999 Dirt Late Model Dream winner, Scrub Rick Eckert in the 24. Also on the speedway, you'll see the number 20 TC Tristan Chamberlain got the Bill Stein pole last night. Unfortunately, mechanical issues sidelined them. Chamberlain out of Richmond, Indiana, the Gibson Racing number 20 TC. The youngster really having a good year this year with the Outlaws, off to his best start in 2026. Out of Lewistown, Pennsylvania, the Schmidt's Garage, number 2, Jason Schmidt, now in his 12th year behind the wheel of a super late model, won World of Outlaws feature start back in 2014 right here at Selinsgrove and finished 19th. Also on the speedway, the Bruce Kane entry, piloted by Kyle Lee. Good to see Kyle Lee with us. 5 World of Outlaw feature starts for the 2024 Bedford Speedway track champion, former Hagerstown Speedway track champion as well. Finished 13th at Williamsgrove back in 2021. That's his best World of Outlaws feature finish. Also on the speedway, Trevor Collins out of Seaford, Delaware, the Sadie Scott Farms, number 11. 1 World of Outlaws feature start, 16th at Georgetown. Last night for Trevor Collins, getting his career best, and the 2022 Delaware International Track Champion. There's your current track record holder, Hayes Mattern out of Beavertown, Pennsylvania. 5 World of Outlaw feature starts, best finish 17th at Selinsgrove here in 2014. Track champion here in 2017 as well. Now in his 13th year behind the wheel of a super late model. The number 80, good to have Greg Dial with us. New Cumberland, Pennsylvania native, trying to make his first World of Outlaws feature start. 3rd year behind the wheel of a super late model, raced street stocks for 15 years before he moved up to the super late model division. His drivers get ready to clock in their laps. Ryan Gustin right now 9th quick in the 19R. Tim McCready 2nd quick at an 18.201. Sorensen 7th quick. But quickest in this group is going to be the number 9 of Tim McCready. 18.201 for T-Mac. Tim McCready, we talk about him. He entered 3rd, tied for 3rd in the point standings yesterday before Georgetown with Tyler Erb. McCready slipped down 1 in the standings. He's 4th right now. 7 point back of Tyler Erb for 3rd in the World of Outlaws point standings. Only 1 point ahead of Ryan Gustin. How about this group of cars in the point standings? Between 3rd through 6th, only 24 points separate them. You have Turbo in 3rd, McCready 4th, Gustin 5th, and Drake Troutman 6th. Of course, 6-figure paydays at the end of the year for the top 5 in the World of Outlaws points fund. good battles there, as McCready got 2 wins on this swing a year ago. We'll see if he can do that again here in 2026. McCready already a winner with us at the Volusia Speedway Park, earning his 40th. As he goes second quick overall, it's still Nick Hoffman atop of the charts, 18.117 over McCready, Mills, Pierce, and Eli Johnson in the top 5. Final cars making their exit, and we get ready to welcome the next group of hot laps onto the speedway. Greg Satterley going to lead them out. The Truth, 4-time World of Outlaws feature winner in his 142 World of Outlaw feature starts. Now a good milestone for him, 20th year behind the wheel of a super late model this year for the 2-time Appalachian Speedway champion. Also on the speedway, Tyler Erb out of New Waverly, Texas, the Best Performance Motorsports #1 4-time World of Outlaws feature winner. Tomorrow he will make start 200 with the Outlaws. Tonight, start 199 for Tyler Erb, 3rd in the World of Outlaws point standings. Also on the speedway, you'll find the number 32J, usually Sean Jones. This is Justin Weaver out of Clear Spring, Maryland. 6th year behind the wheel of the super late model for the 3-time Hagerstown Speedway track champion, and of course 1-time Bedford Speedway track champion. For Justin Weaver, 1 World of Outlaws feature start, best finish 22nd at Williamsgrove Speedway back in 2022. Also on the speedway, Brent Larson out of Lake Elmo, Minnesota, the 5-time Cedar Lake Speedway track champion, currently 13th in the World of Outlaws point standings. Your current MD3 Rookie of the Year point leader out of Fayetteville, North Carolina, the 58V Big Perm, Dalton Wilson. Dalton Wilson right now leads the Rookie of the Year point standings by 125, currently 8th in the World of Outlaws point standings. Out of Bakersfield, California, the ASD Motorsports Jarrett Rifles number 74X, Ethan Dotson going to make his 80th World of Outlaws start tonight, currently 7th in the World of Outlaws point standings. A Pennsylvania driver to keep your eye on here this whole week out of Chalk Hill, Pennsylvania, won with the Outlaws back in 2019 at Port Royal Speedway. That is the 25Z of the Chalk Hill Express, Mason Ziegler. Also on the speedway to Jonestown, Pennsylvania, that is Brian Bernheisel. Bernheisel, the Laser chassis. 26 World of Outlaw feature starts, best finish 9th at Selinsgrove back in 2017. Mike Lufer on the speedway to Shermansdale, Pennsylvania, the Batch Carpentry number 06, 10 World of Outlaw feature starts for the 3-time Port Royal Speedway track champion. Best finish with the Outlaws 14th at Selinsgrove. Those are all the drivers here at this hot lap session. Nick Hoffman right now with the Dirt King Simulator's fastest hot lap at an 18.117. Tyler Erb goes 7th quick, 18.479. Brent Larson 5th quick, 18.323. Dalton Wilson 8th quick at an 18.438. How about Brent Larson? 5th, he was 4th, he got bumped down to 5th now as Dalton Wilson in the 58V goes 2nd quick. Dalton Wilson and the team trying to rebound after a very, very strong spring. Dalton Wilson 2nd quick overall in the Big Frog Motorsports number 58V at an 18.190. Well, Nick Hoffman turned a 18.117. That is faster than the track record. So Nick Hoffman going to have the Dirt King Simulator's fastest hot lap here this evening, 18.117, quicker than the track record. But of course, that only counts in qualifying. Well, joining me up in the booth, the voice of the Selinsgrove Speedway, Mr. Bert Wojcik. Bert, good evening, my friend. Glad to be back at Selinsgrove Speedway. We have a really good lineup for the fans tonight, because if you're a late model fan, you got the World of Outlaws, and you got limited late models as well.
Absolutely, Ruben. Great to be working with you up here this time with the World of Outlaw Late Model Series event by DIRTVision. As joining us here tonight will be the Creekside Auto Sales Limited Late Models, presented by Latshaw Athletic Landscaping. as this is our second race for the Creekside Auto Sales Limited Late Models. Lane Snook took home the opening night win back on April the 24th as Middleburg's Andrew Yoder, first car out on the Speedway. And Mead Hahn is on the Speedway as well in the 7. He's out of Millerstown, Pennsylvania. To Emma Jake Moser out of York Haven, making the trip up here tonight. Got the 4M of Kyle Moser as well in that beautiful number 4 car. Kenny Yoder in the 34D, making a run up here tonight. As cars are making their way around for their first of 3 hot lap session with 29 Creekside Auto Sales Limited Late Models sent by Lat Shaw Athletic Landscaping. Join us here tonight at the Selinsgrove Speedway. Ryan Zook, quickest in hot lap session number 1 for the Creekside Auto Sales Limited Late Models, 19.084, coming off a second place run to Lane Snook back on April 24th. Lee Ziegler in the second spot, 20.239. Andrew Yoder. Andrew Yoder at a 22.82, Kyle Moser at a 20.315, and Jake Moser at a 24.90. As the second group makes its way onto the Speedway. Mentioned earlier, Lane Snook took home the win over Ryan Zook. Dalton Bigler, Sean Miller, and George Dixon rounded out the top 5 in our one and only race here. Speaking of that race, saw the winner of the High Caliber Crane 410 Sprint Car Ray Tilley Classic, Mark Smith. He's wandering around here tonight. As next group comes out here, Tyson Mowry making his way onto the Speedway, along with Sean Miller. He's out of Tower City, Pennsylvania. Levi Vile out of Bloomsburg in the 19. Second year in a limited late model. Nathan Long in the 63. As cars get wound up here for the second hot lap session. And one car already slow, and that is the 63 of Nathan Long, who actually flipped in super competition here. Nathan Long already upside down once this year here at Selinsgrove Speedway. Zach Kaufman in the 08. I see Jarrett Folkrode up here from Port Royal tonight. Casey Steinhoff in the 22. Jeffrey King in the 24K, making his first run up at Selinsgrove here this season. Sam Ryle in the 11R, Caden Rannick in the 27, Harold Rannick out there as well, John Schock. As checkers come out on session number 2, Sean Miller goes up to a 19.570, very fitting for Sean, being out of the 570 himself. Jeffrey King making up to second at a 19.782. Tyson Mowry, third in that session, fourth overall at 19.878, and Maddox Smith moves up into fifth at a 20.071. As the third and final group comes in, as we go in the third and final group for the Creekside All Sales Limited Late Models by Latshaw Athletic Landscaping. Then we will go into Mark Martin Automotive Time Trials for the World of Outlaw Late Models by DIRTVision. Big shout out to longtime friends of myself, the Mosers, Finch and Chris Moser, putting up $500 for the Quick Time Award. Finch had a nice check made by Sleazy's Graphics as well. So can't thank them enough for their generosity. As the final group comes on the Speedway, M1 of Mike Potts. First car rolling out on the Speedway. DJ Myers in car 70. Matt Murphy in the 21M. 11 at Jackson Garmin. Making the run up here at Selinsgrove tonight. Travis Meese in the 116. Trayton Lee in the 15K. Matt Cochran in the 18 Star. Making a run in the Limiteds here tonight. Usually a Selinsgrove Ford Super Late Model competitor. Lucas Adams in the 14A. Dalton Bigler in the 24 out of Mechanicsburg. Matt Adams in the 9. As final group comes out here, it'll be Sean Miller being fastest. DJ Myers moves up into the second spot, 19.659. Trayton Lee up into a 19.764. Jeffrey King holds on the fourth, and Ryan Zook in the fifth. Jackson Garmin moves up into the sixth spot at a 19.084. That will do it for hot laps for the Creekside All Sales Limited Late Models run by Latshaw Athletic Landscaping. Next up, about ready to get out $500 for fast time here tonight, courtesy of the Mosers. And with that, back to the voice of the World of Outlaw Late Model Series event by DIRTVision, Ruben Morales.
Thank you very much, Bert. Getting ready for qualifying. As we mentioned, 39 entries. We'll have 20 cars in Group A and 19 cars in Group B. Thank you to Mark Martin Automotive. A legendary racer, Mark Martin, brought his winning spirit home, founding Mark Martin Automotive in Batesville and Ash Flat, Arkansas. Ford, Chevy, GMC, the best selection in North Central Arkansas. Come see why they're driven to serve. Visit www.markmartinautomotive.com. Thanks to Mark Martin Automotive for providing us with this season's merch tow rig. If you're ever in the area, pay a visit to Mark Martin Automotive. If it's your first ever World of Outlaws feature event, we'd like to welcome you and hope to see you at many more. But if you don't know the format, the way it works, 20 cars in Group A. These drivers will qualify for starting positions in the first 2 heat races. Fastest driver on the pole of Heat 1, second fastest on the pole of Heat 2, third and fourth filled to the outside, etc., etc. Group B will have 19 cars. They will qualify for starting spots in heat races 3 and 4. There'll be 4 heat races later this evening, 8 laps the distance, taking the top 2 to the top 8 redraw, taking the top 4 directly to the feature, locking in 16 drivers. 5th on back in the respective heat races will go to one of the 2 last chance showdowns, and get ready for tonight's $20,000 to win 45-lap feature event. We commence Mark Martin Automotive qualifying. First driver out there to Landisville, Pennsylvania, the Rocket Pro Built, York PV Truss, Coleman Farms, Leeser Lumber, Frico Fabrication, Rouse Pizza, number 121, Tristan Nieder. And also on the Speedway, you'll find the number 22 star, 7 straight top 10s for the driver to Hindman, Pennsylvania. The GR Smith Motorsports, Team 22 Incorporated, Victory Circle Auto Sales, Gambler Transport, Superior Homes, Brickhouse Tavern, Lake House Wine Bar, Mesilla Valley Transportation, number 22 star. The number 92, Jeff Ryan, out of Danville, Pennsylvania. The Elbin Racing, Metzler Trailer Sales, KW Central Pennsylvania, Penske VP Racing Fuel, number 92. Jeff Ryan, a winner with the Outlaws here in 2017. Drake Troutman atop of the charts, 18.561. Jeff Ryan second quick, 18.564. Tristan Nieder third quick at 8.16. Triple box here on DIRTVision. Here comes Drake Troutman in the 22 star. Put on a show last night. A couple of laps in the feature until unfortunately getting into that lap car. Jeff Ryan, quick time in the 92. Good to see Jeff Ryan with us here. The all-time winningest driver at Selinsgrove Speedway and Bedford Speedway. Jeff Ryan to the top of the charts to kick off qualifying here at an 18.523. Next 3 qualifiers rolling onto the Speedway. Trey Mills, MD3 Rookie of the Year contender. In the Mills Concrete, Bilstein, H&R Race Engines, FK Rollins, VP Racing Fuels, Bob Oswell Oil, Kaiser Aluminum Wheels, Quartermaster, Wiles Drive Shafts, number 14. Also on the Speedway, Jacob Piper. Piper joins us out of Mercersburg, Pennsylvania, in the JWP Environmental, Buchanan Auto Stores, Scott's Hauling and Excavating, Hot Sticks Package Firewood, number 21, Jacob Piper. The Boss, Ross Robinson, out of Georgetown, Delaware, the Stokely Materials, Commonwealth Equipment, Wesley Collins Builders, Delmaro Hydraulics, Stokely Speed and Supply, Rocket Clements, number 7. Opening lap coming up here for Trey Mills in the 14. Mills will clock in third quick, 18.645. Jacob Piper in the 21 will clock in for his opening lap, fourth quick at an 18.976. And Ross Robinson in the 7 joining us all week long. He'll go third quick, 18.615. Trey Mills, eyes on the prize, long season. He goes second quick, going for the MD3 Rookie of the Year Championship, 18.528 on his second lap. He goes second quick overall. Piper keeps lap number 1, 18.976, and Ross Robinson also keeping lap number 1 as he goes fourth quick at an 18.615. So Jacob Piper, fifth quick. Ross Robinson, fourth. Trey Mills, second quick at an 18.528. Jeff Ryan with the time to beat at an 18.523. Up next, number 23, Lane Snook, joining us from Port Royal in the Kreider Mitchell Construction, Brenneman Excavating, Garmin Concrete and Construction, Feathers and Fur, Integra All-Star Performance, Class 1's Transport, Rocket Coronet, number 23. The number 24, that's going to be Dylan Yoder out of Middleburg, Pennsylvania, the Rocket Miller Powered, Valley Supply, Strauss Electric, Ingram Fuels, number 24. And in the number 28, Dennis Erb Jr. out of Carpentersville, Illinois, in the McBride Mac Vomac Truck Sales, 5-star Race Car Bodies, Fox Shocks, Riverton Party Store, Kaiser Manufacturing, PRC, Dundee Heating and Air Conditioning, Collins Science, Rocket Clements, number 28, Dennis Erb Jr. Off of corner number 4, Dylan Yoder ready for his opening lap. Haven't seen him in quite some time. It's been about 2 years since we've seen Yoder. Lane Snook, quick time 18.300. Yoder goes 7th. And Dennis Erb Jr. 6th, quick at an 18.701. Lane Snook has led in both of the features so far here this year in the 23. And right now, quick time. Can he upset the Outlaws here tonight? Yoder 7th, quick, and Dennis Erb Jr. gonna go 6th quick in the number 28. So a new quick time here in Mark Martin Automotive qualifying. It's going to be Lane Snook atop of the charts, 18.3000. Up next, Danny Snyder in the number 4 to Green Lane, Pennsylvania. The J Master Cola Hauling, Virtual Lessons, Snyder's Mobile Wash, Kryptonite, Vic Hill powered number 4S. Also on the Speedway, the number 0, that's going to be Andrew Yoder out of Middleburg, Pennsylvania. The Creekside Auto Sales, Windview Truck Repair, Stein Trucking, Ritz Trans, Smitty's Tree Service, Sprouse Electric, Rocket Miller, number 0. Also on the Speedway, you'll find the number 55E, Eli Johnson, MD3 Rookie of the Year contender to Clewiston, Florida. Clyde Johnson Contracting and Roofing Performance Napa, Total Claim Source 7 Peak Steel, Michael Johnson Productions, number 55E. Dylan Snyder going to go 9th quick, 19.179 in the number 4. Here comes the 0 Yoder, 10th quick, 19.370. The 55E of Eli Johnson, 7th quick, 18.718. And here comes the number 4 of Snyder. Snyder will cross the line and clock in 10th quick, 19.179. Lane Snook atop of the charts, 18.300 in the 23. 5 wins here a year ago at Selinsgrove Speedway for Lane Snook. Eli Johnson goes 7th quick at an 18.719. So Lane Snook, his first full year behind the wheel of a super late model, last year's Selinsgrove and Port Royal Limited late model track champion. Won the big events, Ron Zimmerman and the Paul Long as well, trying to make his first Outlaw feature start tonight. Bobby Pierce on the Speedway out of Oakwood, Illinois, the Low Voltage Solutions, Churchill Transportation, Brights Heating and Air, Collins Brothers Towing, Rio Grande Waste Services, Pontiac RV, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Carnegie Towing, Fort Knox Safe and Volt, Steiner Construction, number 32. Also on the Speedway, the number 66C, Matt Cosner at Ridgely, West Virginia. The Nelson Auto Sales, RH Lap Mechanical Contractors, GNP Distributors, Benson Designs, Kenny Petty John Racing, All-Star Performance, Mighty Auto Parts, number 66C, Matt Cosner. And also on the Speedway, the number 3, that's going to be Tim Wilson. In the Wilson's Auto, Easy Auto, All-Star Performance, Midstate Electrical Contracting, number 3. Pierce, 2nd quick, 18.394 for the Smooth Operator. Here comes Matt Cosner for his opening lap, 10th quick, 18.919. The number 3 of Tim Wilson, 15th quick, 20.355. And Pierce, can he go one spot better to the top of the charts? He will not. He'll keep lap number 1, that time a 10th off, 18.487. First lap better, 18.394. Matt Cosner also going to keep lap number 1. He'll go 10th quick, and Wilson going to go faster on lap number 2. He'll go 13th quick at a 19.297. Tim Wilson 13th quick, Matt Cosner 10th, and 2nd quick, Bobby Pierce at an 18.394. So Lane Snook atop of the charts, 18.300 over Bobby Pierce, Jeff Ryan, Trey Mills, the top 4. The Thrill from Mooresville, Nick Hoffman up next at Mooresville, North Carolina. The Ty Toric, Noss Energy Drink, C&W Trucking, Lone Wolf Petroleum, Holdren Construction, Remtech Industries, Petroff Towing, Bilstein, Tri-Valley Equipment, Ty Toric Performance Parts, Longhorn Clements Durham, number 9. And also on the Speedway, finished 5th in the Chili Bowl. Actually, it's going to be Logan Zarin. No, I was correct. It is Briggs Danner in the number 31 out of Allentown, Pennsylvania. Finished 5th in the Chili Bowl this year in the Roy Danner Paving, GC Lumber, Pioneer Pole Buildings, Dirtworks Excavating, number 31. And Logan Zarin, MD3 Rookie of the Year contender out of Hookstown, Pennsylvania, the All-American Framer, Brandon's Lawn and Landscape, Global Enterprise, number 1Z. Nick Hoffman to the top of the charts, 18.167. Briggs Danner, 13th quick. Logan Zarin, 11th quick. Nick Hoffman to the top of the charts, 18.167. Oh, so close to that track record. And Nick Hoffman to the top of the charts and ties the track record. 18.151 is the track record, and Nick Hoffman just turned an 18.151, tying the track record here tonight. Unbelievable. Logan Zarin also with a great qualifying effort, 4th quick in the 1Z at an 18.475. Wow, Nick Hoffman ties the track record. Unbelievable. Up next, Spike Moore. Out of Defiance, Pennsylvania, the Jim McBee Motorsports, Cottle Racing and Fabrication, David Hardwoods, Rick Steele, Chubby Trucking, RL, number 11. And also on the Speedway, you'll find the number 27 final driver in Mark Martin Automotive Qualifying Group A. Out of Selinsgrove, Pennsylvania, the Strauss Electric, Nitty Tractor and Equipment, Robert Septic Service, Ingram Fools, JDS Shocks, Frico Fabrications, number 27, Jim Yoder. Wow, Nick Hoffman, 18.151, tying Hayes' track record. You got Lane Snook second, Bobby Pierce third, Logan Zarin fourth. Opening lap for Greg Moore, 15th quick, 19.168. Here comes the 27 of Jim Yoder, 20th quick, 19.550. How about your front row right now for Heat 1 if it stands the way it is? Hoffman, Pierce. I mean, you can't even script this. This is amazing right now. As second lap for Greg Moore, faster, 19.082, 15th quick, and Yoder also faster on lap number 2, 20th quick at a 19.538. But that's going to do it for Group A, Mark Martin Automotive Qualifying. Nick Hoffman ties the track record at an 18.151, and he'll have the front row of the opening heat of the night with Bobby Pierce, the two drivers atop of the standings that are only separated by 4 points for the World of Outlaws Championship. And how about Lane Snook with a great qualifying effort, trying to make his first World of Outlaws feature in the 23. He'll have the pole of heat race number 2 alongside MD3 Rookie of the Year contender Logan Zarin. Let's go downstairs to Peyton Williams.
Well, Ruben, this points battle atop the World of Outlaws point standings in 2026 continues to intensify. Nick rounded out the podium last night. You now tie the track record here at Selinsgrove, and I know the conditions here tonight may prove to be a little tricky, but given the fact that you have so much speed, what do you expect over the course of tonight's racing?
Yeah, it's still going to slow down a little bit, I think, but definitely a really fast racetrack. Looking at it from, over there just before the races even started, obviously we knew it was going to be big and fast, but I didn't expect it to be this sweeping, so really in that qualifying lap, I went back to my iRacing days of Daytona qualifying, just hold the wheel as straight as possible and do whatever you can to just never lift. So I had to burp it in both ends just to make sure I could get turned in, but probably could have went a little bit faster. So I feel like our hot rod's really good in any condition, and just a matter of just holding the wheel straight here and not making any mistakes.
A 10th.5 quicker on lap number 1. Lap number 2, however, ties the track record as Nick Hoffman posts quick time in Group A tonight.
All right, thank you very much, Peyton. Good stuff down there, man. Nick Hoffman and Bobby Pierce in the front row of heat race number 1. That is going to be fantastic. Get your popcorn now because you ain't going to want to miss that one. All right, Group B getting ready to commence. We get ready to set the lineups for heat races 3 and 4 here this evening. 19 drivers getting ready to qualify here in Mark Martin Automotive Qualifying Group B. Up first, Rick Eckert, the York, Pennsylvania, the Suburban, Bolarama, McSherry's Town, Moose, Stevens Crane Service, Eckert Trucking, All About Wraps, Rocket, J. Dickens, number 24, Rick Eckert. The 19, that's going to be Dustin Sorensen. Out of Rochester, Minnesota, the Altenberg Construction, Paulson Rock Products, JNS Repair, JCB Equipment, Rochester Chevrolet 63 Club, Yagi Trucking, CBR Drilling, Olins by Longhorn Dynamics, number 19. Tristan Chamberlain out of Richmond, Indiana, the Gibson Racing, Vision Woodworks, Vision Homes, DCE Fabrication, Pardos Towing Service, Burt Transmission, FK Rollins Penske, number 20 TC. Opening lap coming up here for Rick Eckert as we are triple boxed for you, getting you all 3 drivers through all of Mark Martin Automotive Qualifying. Good job by our camera crew all weekend long. Rick Eckert atop of the charts, 19.595. Now it's Sorensen, 18.732. Here comes Chamberlain for his opening lap, second quick, 18.879. Dustin Sorensen. Not the stat you want to bring out, but it's been a couple races since he's seen the top 10. He'd love to change that here tonight. Sorensen doesn't go faster, but he stays atop of the charts. Eckert did go faster. He stays third quick, 19.074. And Tristan Chamberlain, quick time here in Group B in the 20 TC, 18.662 for the 20 TC of Tristan Chamberlain. He'll set the bar here in Mark Martin Automotive Qualifying. Group B, Dustin Sorensen, second quick, and Rick Eckert, third quick. As the next 3 rolling onto the Speedway, Kyle Lee in the 15K out of Mercersburg, Pennsylvania, and the Bruce Kane Racing, All About Doors and Wraps, 5M Construction, TNT Port Services, Jerry Siding and Roofing, Haywood Marine Construction, Rocket Clements, number 15K. Your track record holder, that's going to be Hayes Mattern out of Beavertown, Pennsylvania, the Middlesworth Potato Chips, Selinsgrove Ford, Northwest RV, Kramer Funeral Home, Top Notch CNC, Longhorn Clements, number 9, and also on the Speedway, the number 80D, Greg Dial out of New Cumberland, Pennsylvania, the Veterans Fishing Adventure, Ambient HVAC Collective, HC9, McClure Company, Right A-Way Powder Coating, Baker Door, Longhorn, Tom Barron, Pro Power, number 80D, Greg Dial. Opening lap for Kyle Lee, fourth quick at a 19.194. And how about your track record holder? He goes to the top of the charts. Hayes at an 18.413. Greg Dial, fifth quick, 19.175. As Hayes Mattern, of course, to the top of the charts, 18.413. Here comes the 15K of Kyle Lee. He will not improve. He'll stay sixth quick. And Hayes will stay at top of the charts, keeping lap number 1. That time a 10th slower. And here comes Greg, as Greg Deal goes fifth quick at a 19.175. Hayes Mattern, new quick time here in Group B in the number 9 at an 18.413 over Tristan Chamberlain, Dustin Sorensen, and Rick Eckert, the top 4. Where's you want to be to start in the front row. Up next, Ryan Gustin in Marshalltown, Iowa, the Cooney Motorsports, Hooker Trucking, Custom Fabricating and Repair, Carl Chevrolet, Allen Seamless Gutters, Murdy's Farms, VP Racing Fuels, Heartland, Infinity, Vic Hill, J. Dickens, number 19R. Also on the Speedway, Trevor Collins getting his career best with the Outlaws last night, 16th in the Sadie Scott Farms, WWC, the third Trucking, Abbott Electric, Ed's Auto Center, FK Roddins, VP Racing Fuels by the Advanced Motorsports, number 11. And also on the Speedway, the number 2, that's going to be Jason Schmidt out of Lewistown, Pennsylvania, in the Rocket Chassis, Cornet-powered Schmidt's Garage, number 2. Opening lap for Ryan Gustin in the 19R with a great run last night. Fourth quick, 18.753 for the Reaper. Opening lap coming up here for the 11 of Trevor Collins. Collins will cross the line, 8th quick, 19.341. Schmidt will fall in suit, 9th quick at a 19.663. Ryan Gustin in the 19R will cross the line. He will not go faster. 4th quick at an 18.753. The number 11 of Collins will cross the line, and he will go faster. 6th quick at a 19.107. Jason Schmidt, 9th quick at a 19.497. So Schmidt goes faster on lap number 2. He goes 9th quick. Trevor Collins 6th quick, and Ryan Gustin 4th quick right now at an 18.753. Hayes Mattern still with a time to beat in Group B at an 18.413. Up next, joining us from Watertown, New York, the Dave Warren Power Sports, Corey Rubber Corporation, Exis Storage, JHI Hydraulics, One Rail, Sherlock Ventures, Flawless Roofing, Trans 58 Briggs Transport, Clyde Johnson Contracting and Roofing, Longhorn Clements, number 9, Tim McCready. In the number 25Z at Chalk Hill, Pennsylvania, the Rocket Clements, Huranic Corporation, Green Lane Fuel Savings, RBS Truck Collision, RBS Trailer Sales, Walmsley Enterprise, OVR, Dyer's Top Rods, Deep Creek Docks, number 25Z, Mason Ziegler. In the number 58V at Fayetteville, North Carolina, the Longhorn Clements, Big Frog Motorsports, Big Frog Transportation, Viper Risk Management, King Risk Partners, Base Racing Fuel, Ocala Restaurant and Supply, B&L Construction, Innovative Community Solutions, number 58V, Dalton Wilson. McCready, 2nd quick, 18.502. Mason Ziegler, 3rd quick, 18.551. Here comes Wilson for his opening lap in the 58V. Quick time, 18.352 for Dalton Wilson. Can McCready go faster? He does it. He stays 3rd quick, keeping lap number 1. And here comes Mason Ziegler in the 25Z. Ziggy will not improve. He will stay with lap number 1, 4th quick. And Dalton Wilson, not faster, but it doesn't matter. The MD3 Rookie of the Year point leader goes quickest in Group B at an 18.352 in the 58V. So it's Dalton Wilson, Hayes Mattern, Tim McCready 3rd, Mason Ziegler in 4th. Up next, the 119 Brian Bernheisel out of Jonestown, Pennsylvania, the Uglies Potato Chips, Selinsgrove Ford, Bolger Brothers, Pioneer Pole Buildings, Bernheisel Race Components, Laser Chassis, Clements Powered, number 119. Also on the Speedway, you'll find the number 22, Greg Satterley. Satterley joins us out of Indiana, Pennsylvania. The Kaiser Manufacturing, Classic Ink, Screen Printing and Embroidery, all about wraps. Satterley Motorsports, Integra, APCO, VP number 22. And the B1, Brent Larson out of Lake Elmo, Minnesota. The Land of Pressure Washers, Fuel Factory, Hanco Corporation, T-Pack, The Real Cafe, TS Warehouse, number B1. Bernheisel opening lap in the 1:19, 8th quick at an 18:909. Greg Satterley in the 22 gets ready for lap number 1, 5th quick, 18:603. Good opening lap for Satterley. Here comes Brent Larson, 3rd quick for Larson, 18:463. He qualified well yesterday, and Brent Larson qualifies well again today in the B1. Bernheisel will not improve. He'll keep lap number 1. Satterley will not improve. He'll keep lap number 1 as well. That time a 10th slower for Satterley. Brent Larson will not improve. 3/10 slower on lap number 2, but Brent Larson lays down a good one. He goes 3rd quick in the B1 at an 18:463. Satterley 6th quick, and Brian Bernheisel 10th quick. Top 4 puts you on the front row of heats 3 and 4. Right now it's Wilson over Mattern, Larson, and McCready. Up next, the number 32. That's going to be Justin Weaver. Justin Weaver joins us out of Clear Springs, Maryland. The Red Wing Shoes, GDC IT Solutions, Knowles Fire Protection, JRD Automotive, Bill Stein, Longhorn, Jay Dickens, and also the 74X Ethan Dotson out of Bakersfield, California. The ASD Motorsports, Jarrett Rifles, North Augusta Customs, XL Flooring, Taco John's, Brad Benton Trucking, BK Grading and Paving, number 74X. 4 cars left. We'll split them up into 2 pairs. As the time to beat right now, 18:352, set by Dalton Wilson here in Group B. 32J, Justin Weaver will cross the line. 15th quick, 19:225 for Justin Weaver. Here comes the 74X of Ethan Dotson. Dotson will cross the line. 11th quick, 19:025 for Ethan Dotson. Final lap for Weaver. Justin Weaver will bump Dotson down to 12th as he takes 11th at a 19:005. And checkered flag gonna fly for the 74X of Ethan Dotson. Faster, 10th quick for Dotson, 18:890. 10th quick for Dotson. So it's 12th quick for Weaver, 10th for Dotson. It's still Dalton Wilson, Hayes Mattern, Brent Larson, Tim McCready, the top 4. Final 2 qualifiers here this evening, getting ready to roll onto the Speedway out of Shermansdale, Pennsylvania. The Batch Carpentry, Dillman Hauling, Mid-South Supply, Longhorn Pro Power number 06. It's Mike Lufer. And on the Speedway, out of New Waverly, Texas, the Best Performance Motorsports, Bulk Material and First Class Septic, Cole County Speedway, Roberts B Company, Pole Construction, Anthony's Pizza, Leigenfelder Mechanical Contractor, Sannywell, Sunoco, Go Lithium, Kaiser Integra, Performance Bodies and Parts, KBZ Graphics, number 1, Turbo, Tyler Erb. Final 2 qualifiers here this evening at Selinsgrove. Mike Lufer in the 06, good to have him here. Multi-time Port Royal Speedway track champion. And getting ready to take on the Outlaws as he'll cross the line. 15th quick, 19:142. Here comes Tyler Erb. Looking for that first World of Outlaws win of the season. 7th quick for Erb, 18:603 in the Best Performance Motorsports number 1. Checkered flag in the air for the final 2 qualifiers of the night. And Lufer will not improve. He'll stay 16th quick, that time a 10th slower. Tyler Erb ready for his final lap. He was 7th on his opening lap, and he will stay there as he goes a 10th slower as well on lap number 2. No one's going to stop him. It's Dalton Wilson, quickest here in Group B. Mark Martin Automotive qualifying in the 58V at an 18:352. Peyton, downstairs to you.
And for Big Perm, Dalton Wilson, a much improved start to what was the finish of his Georgetown run last night. Big Perm, you're able to post quick time in Group B, a big margin for you in the Rookie of the Year standings. But given the frustration with last night, what does it say about the team and you to post quick time here in Group B this evening?
My guys, they really they worked their butts off, and we just put our head down today and really went to work. Thanks JC, Mike, JC, Mike, and Cade for coming to help us this week. We got really awesome car owners and a lot of great sponsors behind this deal that get us something down the road, and hopefully we can get us a good finish tonight to make up for last night.
Ruben, a couple of drivers in their own respective points battles off to a strong start here in Selinsgrove tonight.
Yeah, really good stuff, Peyton. As Nick Hoffman, your overall quick time qualifier here this evening, the Thrill from Mooresville ties the track record, 18:151, unbelievable. And also Nick Hoffman gonna get an extra $500 courtesy of Finch and Chris Moser Jr., and also a check being presented to him today. So congratulations to Nick Hoffman, extra couple $100 there. And that's going to do it for qualifying. For everyone watching at home on DIRTVision, we're going to step aside. You're watching coverage from the World of Outlaws Sandhill Showdown here at Selinsgrove.
The only thing faster than the